Live from the floor of the NYSE, that's a market open.
Yeah, hello, welcome to this live trading room results here. This is already the second week of June 2016 and we are trading the Emini S&P 500 futures market. As you can see here, that is indicated by the ES continuous contract F5 in the bottom left corner. You can see the volume indicator over there as well as the symbol ES. This is still June expiry M6, as you can see here, 5-minute chart. We are always trading from the 5-minute chart because I think this is the most prestigious time frame. Many people are trading off this 5-minute chart, so I want to be doing the same thing. You can see here on the right hand side that we are trading on our demo account. That is just above these order buttons, as you can see, buy, sell, buy market, sell market. And the accumulated profit from last week is just below these buttons, $4,000. And below that we can see our contract size, 5 contracts. Because we are trading 5 contracts, I think 5 contracts can generate a sustainable income, or an income which can be used for a basic lifestyle. So this is what I think many of us want to achieve, that we can actually live off of this market, some kind of generate some kind of profits here along the way. And it's not too volatile, at least I think for a normal investor this should be okay. But to be able to try such 5 contracts, as you can see here, you need a minimum account size, I would say, of roughly 30,000 US dollars because of margin requirements. The margin requirement for one contract is around $3,000, and we want to be able to double up these contract amounts because of the strategy we are playing. Also, we want to open positions sometimes prior to the open. So in the pre-opening session, anything before 9:30 US Eastern Time. And there also we have a higher margin requirement of around $6,000. You can see the time here in the bottom right corner. The time is, on this watch, it's CET +2, 17:28 now, 2 minutes to the actual opening of this market, the Emini S&P 500 futures market. And normally I will be placing my trades immediately to before the open, so we are actually filled for our opening trade. I will be normally trading immediately from the open and will be jumping into the market right away. Obviously, once we install our live trading room, which will be done a little bit later, at a later stage, then I will be calling out these trades well in advance, I would say. But well in advance in this market may mean 15 to 30 seconds or less. So we have to be very attentive because signals can change quite rapidly. But as you can see here, I placed my order on the chart. The order is placed as at 2101.75, and we should be filled on this order here very soon. Normally I should be placing my order 1 tick lower than this because the opening was actually at 2101.50. So this is still a pending order, as you can see, and that can be seen by one thing. Basically, you can see the text, the white text written on the red background, sell limit. So it's still a pending order, a sell limit order. A limit order means that you want to actually be filled only on this price and no other price. But these different order types, I can explain them to you if you're interested. But I think many of us already have some background in trading and some experience. If you are very new to this, please ask me any questions in the comments below or on our Discord channel, which I installed. The link is also below. This channel was installed so you can ask me immediately any question you like, and I will be able to respond to that immediately. So once an order is filled, as you will see here soon, now you could see that on the right hand side, you see the profits accumulating. So the actual look of this order changed, so you can see profits or loss accumulating now, and you see -5. That means a short position because of the minus, a short sell of this market. We have two ways, buy and sell obviously, and we will be trading both directions at all times. So I will not be necessarily follow a trend indication. So if we have an upward momentum in the market, I will also be trading short. Just depends on my strategy, as I mentioned earlier. But you can see on this day, for example, I will be explaining now in the coming a few of those trades I make. Here you can see that we have a very minimal red bar on the open, which is very unusual, so not a lot of volume coming in. But we were successfully filled on our first order, and now we ran profitable for around 2 points, or actually 1.75. And then in this case, or if we run positive from our initial entry for around 1.25 points, so anything beyond that, I will be placing my buy stop order in this case. So my stop order break even. That means that I will be stopped out of this trade once the price returns to my initial entry break even, so no profit or loss at this point. Just a matter of security, so if the market turns around, I will be not running negative, rather I will be taken out of this market without any significant loss. This is just part of my strategy, and we will be explaining how you can develop your own trading strategy here along this way. I will try to include some information in every session we make. So even today I will be talking about something which you can take away from this. I have around 2 pages of rules here in front of me, which I follow and try to follow stringently. And then I have my support and resistance levels. And these support and resistance levels are decided by an indicator. So I try to structure the market in a way so I can personally understand it, and also do the same thing over and over again. So I'll be able to kind of immediately know at what point we are in the market according to my strategy. So it is very clear and straightforward. It should not be that your rules or your structure changes or is difficult for you to understand. So you have to be always very clear exactly on where you are in the market. The clearer it is, the better, because at the end you can review what trading mistakes you have done and what trading profits you could accumulate. Obviously, if the strategy is not very clear, it is very difficult to make adjustments to it later, or even set up your rules, because these rules may be changing over time, and then you may not be very clear on what is happening. So we were taking out of this market here break even, as I said, the first trade, no profit, no loss really. I will be including some commissions later in this trading approach, because the demo will not account for commissions at the moment, but is very realistic still, because these fills are actually, or these orders are really placed in the market, in the real market flow. So if we would be filled with real money, we would also be filled on our demo account here. If we would not be filled, we would also not be filled here on our demo account. The only thing which I have to respect here is that we have to take these commissions into account, and I will be doing that a little bit later down the line. So you can see quite a nice trade here from the beginning, and we were hitting our target area 2 times already, but we were not filled. And since I entered the market a bit late, I can tell you that already on this day I was making a small trading mistake. I should have entered the market immediately after the second bar close. So the second bar is the green bar, as you can see. The market open can also be seen here in the bottom chart, the volume chart. Just below the real chart where we are trading on, you can see a spike in volume at 1730 with a red indication, red bar. That means this bar closed short, so below it's actually open price, so it's 5-minute chart, and this is indicated here by these green and red bars, obviously, and the volume is increasing, as you can see. So I was anticipating that the market may push up further, but there's 2 blue lines you can see here at where we are trading now, the price we are trading at the moment. This was my initial target area, because these 5 points for the opening trade has already been achieved at that point, 67, 68 roughly. But I wanted to anticipate a long position here, an all-day position. Sometimes I do that because we broke out of the pre-opening range. The pre-opening range here is from 2104.25 roughly. This is the high of the pre-opening range, and we were breaking out of this pre-opening range. Normally the market breaks out and then will return and try to return to the opening range again. And this is something we will also be talking about here. But let me move through this week a little bit faster here today, because I don't want to make these sessions too long. And obviously we are already 12 minutes into this recording, and for some people this might be just too long to follow. So as you can see here already on the thumbnail of that video, that was a very bad week for us, and we unfortunately had a lot of losing trades, but this happened. So unfortunately this volatility has to be expected, and I can't do much about this. So as you can see, I will be fast forwarding this video. This is also something I want to do here, because we can move much faster obviously throughout the session. Even though the time is speeded up, as you can see in the bottom right corner, you can see the seconds moving way faster than normal. It's now 18:30, so anticipation of the breakout range. The breakout range is decided from 1730 until 1830. The low of that range is here around 2108, and the high of that range is 2108.25. No, actually, in this case here would be 2100 for the low of the opening range, and now 2108 for the high. So around 8 points, and normally we would be setting these 8 points as our target area now from the high of the range. So because we anticipate a breakout out to the top of this range, so through 2108.25, and maybe we see a continuation. As you can see now, we hit this price in top of this opening range, and normally a lot of volume will come in at this point, and also a lot of orders will be placed. But as you can see, the market seems to be just touching this breakout range or this breakout area, and is reversing into the range again. That happens many times. Second approach now, and we see a small breakout out of this range, but not a very sustainable breakout, and we will be reversing all the way back down to our initial entry here. Actually, as you can see here, I will pause the video quickly. So this was our opening trade. Unfortunately, it didn't work for this day. So you could see here we broke out of this range. Now it's only half of the chart, but you can imagine the rest of it. I think you saw it already. And now we were reversing all the way back down. Our initial entry was around 2103.25. So you could see here that price was hit again around 9 o'clock. So 2100 here in the bottom the time basically, and the volume indicator you can see just below that. You can see the time of the session or the actual time we are trading on. So this was a break-even day, the first one. Unfortunately, let's move right into the next day, and you will be seeing here a few more trades. I will go through them rather quickly now, because obviously we don't want to spend too much time talking about this. But let me briefly mention one thing here. As you can see, just prior to this opening, now we already filled, as you can see here, on 5 contracts, again short position, and we run negative immediately from this opening. So, but you can see there's 3 small bars here just before this opening, and this showed or indicated that we were actually having some kind of support level there or resistance level there. So we were not able to really push through this 2109.25, because you can see very small bars all the way down there, no real volume, and now we opened immediately at that range. So actually a long position could be anticipated from here, but this is only kind of difficult decision, obviously, because if my signal shows in the opposing direction, I have to follow my rules. There's no way I can change it around so much that I will be trading off of other indicators. This is most important because obviously we want to have a very disciplined execution, so we can review our trading results a little bit later. But as you can see here, we are breaking through this range. And we will be filled, unfortunately, on our stop order. So this was our first bad trade. You can see a 2,812.50 taking a large hit here right from the open. This is normally how we trade, 5 points. Also the stop is around 4.5 or 5 points for 5 contracts. That would be also roughly about $1,200 if we run either way. So this is a second entry, and this was just after this bad opening trade. You can see we're already 25 minutes into the session, and I'm filled already on 10 contracts because my initial entry was a bit improved here, or was my second entry was hit already. My first order was placed at around 12.25 here, and we got filled on our second entry around 10.75, and then we have 10 contracts. As I mentioned before, we want to be able to double up our contract amount. That is just part of my strategy here. Obviously everyone can have their different rules, but I will be going into this more into detail later. So we can pull our stop here to break even, as you see here now, because we hit our first profit area from 2 points away from our initial entry roughly, and I was anticipating the breakout again out of opening range. And since I had some video recording issues, I will show you that later. I cannot show you the full day session, but we successfully broke out of our opening range, and we reverse now back into range. But however, we have a very good entry here at 11.50, so this was an improved entry. I always try to get these improved entries for our breakout strategy, so I can be safe, or safer, that I will not be stopped out of my trade so often. I have more success anticipating such a breakout rather than just trading the breakout immediately when it appears. So an anticipation gives me always a small edge on this market. So you can see a bit of a continuation here. So this was still from yesterday, and we hit actually our initial profit target here of 2,115. No, that was yesterday actually, here of 2,118, and we hit that price. But actually we were reversing all the way back down from this 2,118. So as you can see here, we almost hit it on this chart, but then I had some small issues with my video recording. But we hit this price 2,118 once, or twice, but then we were reversing from this price. So it was really a amazing trade, I would say, because we could anticipate exactly where the market would go, and also that it hits our profit target. But since we just hit this price once, we were not filled on 18, and I was not at my laptop at that point or in front of my trading station here, and then the market reversed all day back down to 11.50, and I should have exited this market way earlier on the way down, basically, because I should not be staying in such a trade for so long. Okay, so let's move right to the next day, but I can tell you here, unfortunately, we were taking out of this trade break even though we were running positive for almost 7 points. Very unfortunate situation, and I should have exited this market on the way down again, because if we hit our price once, we should actually look at exiting on the way down, so not taking all of our profits away again. So you can see here another short position from the open, and you can see again a negative trade right from the beginning. Unfortunately, we were breaking out of this range again, so approaching this 15 level here, 2115, breaking out of this range, and a continuation can normally be observed, but then a reversal again into this opening range. I will be explaining that maybe in a separate video or also in the next sessions, because we will be seeing much more of this later down the line. But you can see here also a doji prior to this opening, just before the opening bar at 1730, and this doji indicated me actually that I should not be taking this trade, but on a day maybe I have done a small trading mistake. And these things happen from time to time. They should not happen so many times. So as you can see, I'm taken out of this market, and we will be looking at another losing trade here shortly. This is a small trade I took also just to regain some of my profits, but I was taking out of this position quite early. Very insignificant profit here, obviously. So I will show you these losing trades again here. So this is one more. Actually, I took a consecutive error because this opening was traded wrong, as I anticipated already. We were breaking out of this range, reversing. So I should not have traded this because of the doji, and now this was a follow-up mistake, and it was not a good day, as you can see here, accumulating some negative trades. This is a small profit here we can take, because normally I would be trying to take a few trades after an unsuccessful opening just to recover some of our bad trades here along the way. So you can see again recovering a little bit of our initial target area, but then later again another bad trade, breaking out of this range here in the bottom. Okay, so I will be fast forwarding again. You can see these profits now on the next day accumulated there. Demo 1 is now 1,500, quite a significant loss, and Demo 2, I will show you that Demo 2 should be intraday. You can see here, this is a break-even trade right from the open again, and since we hit our first profit target here of 2,108, we stop out of this trade break even. Then a little bit later in this day, I was taking one more trade here right from 2,108, and we got filled on our first profit target here, 2,111. Which was nice, but then we were reversing all the way back down to our initial entry, 2,108, and we were taken out of this market again, break even, as you can see here. So now we have on Demo 2 account 1,437.50 minus, and on Demo 1, 1,500 positive. So that means that we actually accumulated almost 4,000 loss this week so far, because last week we will have 4,000 in front on our Demo 1 account, and now we have to take these two together because I want to split up the open, which is the demo, and then the pre-opening, no, not pre-opening, everything after intraday session. I want to split those two into two separate accounts so we can see how the profits are accumulating. So we are here now break even almost, so 1,500 positive on demo 1. Demo 2 is negative 1,500 roughly. So that means we actually lost $4,000 this week, taking all our profits from first week. Very unfortunate situation, but this volatility happened. We had 2 or 3 trading mistakes here on the way, and obviously we got a little bit unlucky on our trading approach. I will be calling these trades well in advance. I'm just skipping through them, but you should be able to see those trades here on the charts, and I will be getting into this much more later. Then I will show you all the entries. I just have to fast forward here through this video because today is Monday. I have to record another session here now. As you can see, a short fill on this bar, and I think we will be running into a negative trade here again, unfortunately, right from this open, taking our demo to a negative result here right from the bat. Yeah, this is how it goes. This is the 10th of June 2016, and we will be looking at a better week in the following. And I will be accumulating those profits in Excel sheet. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for watching these videos. I will be uploading those weekly reviews here, of course, every week, and I want to show you every trades I make. Obviously this week was not good, and I have to show you all the results here still. I want to make those trades clear, but if we have like 30-40 trades, this may be a lot of work, but we will be walking through it. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Take care. Bye bye.